Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. The Bears host the Packers in a few hours, and I am amped. Tony, you gonna say something to tamp me down?
Tony Kornheiser, doink, doink.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Where is he this year? He's not with the Bears, right? You got a new guy, don't you?
We got a new guy, but I don't know if the new guy's any better than the old guy.
Is that right?
We don't know.
Eddie Pinheiro, is that your new guy?
We don't know anything.
Cody Parkey's where? Where is he now?
Really?
Oh, you don't even want the name in.
It's a new football season. I don't want to hear that name.
Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, the Colts turned down a big offer. Lonzo rips his own shoes, and Tony Dungy joins us for 5 good minutes. But we begin today yet again with drama surrounding Antonio Brown. Brown reportedly got into a shouting match with Raiders general manager Mike Mayock, who recently fined Brown for missing a day of camp. During the shouting, Brown threatened to hit Mayock in the face, according to the NFL Network. After the shouting, Brown reportedly punted a ball in anger and said to Mayock, quote, "Find me for that," unquote. It is being widely reported that the Raiders plan to suspend Brown, though Mayock did not say that in his very brief media availability today. And later, John Gruden was similarly evasive, leading to more speculation that Brown might not be with the team. Wilbon, I know you're a big Antonio Brown fan.
Yeah.
What do you make of all of this?
They all deserve each other. They do. Because Antonio Brown has behaved like a fool for years, leading to the Pittsburgh Steelers saying, just get out. We don't want you here anymore, and they could be better this year without him. Mike Mayock, I guess he has to send the letter, but as soon as I saw he sent the letter, for procedural reasons, you just said, Antonio Brown's not going to take this well. He's going to lash out and go social media because that's what he does. And John Gruden looks like a chump. He looks like somebody who's been punked because last year he got rid of 2 of the most impactful players in the league. He's going to remake everything and remake the culture and flex by getting Antonio Brown, who behaves essentially like a bum at every turn. He doesn't care anything about his team or his teammates. And the Raiders deserve Antonio Brown and he them.
So the fine story came out yesterday. You were not here yesterday. Frank Isola and I were talking about it. And I sat on the set and I said, this is a real mistake for the Raiders and Mike Mayock to fine Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown is volatile. Antonio Brown is an egomaniac. Antonio Brown lives in the moment. If you do anything like this, he will explode. And Frank tried to say, no, it's good cop, bad cop. And I said, no. And exactly what it is what I thought would happen. Antonio Brown had said publicly fairly recently, he thanked John Gruden for having his back. He said, I want to play for this guy throughout the helmet issues and so on and so forth.
Can't believe
by Mike Mayock and the Raiders. And by the way, it's hard for me to believe that Mayock does things that Gruden doesn't approve.
Gruden's his boss.
Right.
No matter what the titles are, Gruden has the power.
When you find this guy, it is so completely wrong. I suspect he's lost now. I suspect that down the road, Antonio Brown will be asked to give back all the money. And down the road, you know what happens when they cut him loose? The New England Patriots pick him up for nothing.
But the Raiders they're so soft. What happened to the Raiders? They're not going to suspend him. They'll try to fine him. They will put his butt on the field Monday night because they're scared not to. They've got so much invested.
What good
even though
does
the
it
draft
do if he
picks
doesn't
weren't
want
that
to play?
high.
If
he'll play. He's a diva. What else is he going to do? What's Antonio Brown going to do with the rest of his life? And where's he going to get the money to just do what the hell he wants, if not from an NFL team? Oh, the Raiders.
I don't know. I guess he could put his helmets on eBay. The NFL season kicks off tonight with a very attractive divisional game. In the 100th year of the league, 2 original franchises, the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears, will square off. They have already played 198 times, and the Packers are only 2 wins ahead. Wilbon, last season, your Bears won 12 games and the division.
Yep.
The Packers went 6-9-1. They missed the playoffs for the 2nd straight year. So should we expect the Bears to win tonight at home?
No. No, you just said the Packers have a 2-game lead. This has been a series of the Bears kind of control the.
This is like Duke, North Carolina.
Years.
I mean, with that many games to be that close.
It goes back and forth, Tony. The Bears had 2 things last year that, as optimistic as I am about this year, and I believe Trubisky will get better. I don't think he has to be, Aaron Rodgers. I think he'll get better.
That's a turnaround. You
but
hated
the
him
2
when they drafted
things.
him.
Catch up. That was 2 years ago.
Understand,
the
but
2 things that are important about the Bears season last year and trying to forecast this season. The Bears had almost perfect health last year. Not just good health, great health. Hard to get that back-to-back years. And the Bears won last year with the last place schedule. They this year have what some people are calling, and it's a first-place schedule, the hardest schedule in the league. You combine those 2. I can see the Bears going 10-6, being better than last year in a lot of areas, but not having as good a record. So am I expecting them to win tonight? No. They kind of need to win tonight, and I hope they do. I'm not expecting.
Do you think they will win tonight?
It's a pick'em game.
Well, do you think they're going to win tonight?
I want them to win tonight.
So you can't even commit to saying they're going to win?
I can commit to wanting my team to win tonight.
I think the Packers are going to win.
Of course you do. You're trying to get me to say something that you want. No, you believe what you believe.
That's right.
Okay?
You believe in nothing, obviously, because you can't even make a pick. I believe, and I understand that Aaron Rodgers has trouble throwing touchdown passes in Chicago. Like, he hasn't thrown one since week 1 of 2015.
They're playing awfully early this year. The weather's perfect. There's no.
I think that Aaron Rodgers is, for the first time in the latter part of his career, under actual pressure. I think the change of coaching.
Fire him? What are you gonna do?
No, but I think there's pressure. I think he feels this pressure. I think he will respond well to this. But to be fair, the thing that is most impressive about Chicago is Khalil Mack and the defense, which is the identity of the Bears for 100 years.
You have a kicking game to go with that, and we don't know if we have one. Let me say this real quick. People are saying, well, the Bears can't produce as many turnovers this year as they did last year. Garbage. I got the Bears producing more. Because teams historically don't go back-to-back with an enormous number of turnovers.
I think Rodgers is going to have a good game. I do. I like Rodgers.
Rodgers had a good game last year, and they won the opener, and they split. That's often what happens. Let's do something foreign to you, Tony. Stay in the Midwest, specifically Indianapolis, where Jim Irsay has just reportedly turned down a $3.2 billion offer for the Colts franchise. The team tells the Indianapolis Star the club simply is not for sale, not now. Irsay just turned 60 years old. He's in the prime of life with plenty of money, and he's one of only 32 NFL owners. So why would he sell the team?
So I go under the assumption that almost everything is for sale for the right price. And I'm going under the assumption on this story that this was leaked by the Indianapolis Colts because it benefits them. It benefits them to set up that somebody or some organization offered them $3.2 billion. And what that says to me is, I'll listen to your bids. Maybe you'll get the number that I want at this point. I tend to agree with you that Jimmy Irsay is not the kind of person who would sell this team. Maybe we agree on the reason, too. He grew up with this team.
Yeah.
He was 13 years old when his father got this team. He is not a businessman. This is what he is. This is why I don't think Dolan is going to sell the Knicks, because it's a similar circumstance. But $3.5 billion is a staggering amount of money, and it is possible.
He's already got enough money.
It is possible that Irsay will say something like, the luck thing has bothered me, and I don't know that I want to be there for the entirety of a rebuild. I don't know.
I don't believe any of that. I don't believe anybody has to leak it. When you're a rich guy and you got all the money you need in your circumstance.
Isn't the money tied up in the Colts,
circumstance? Though? Yeah, but Tony, he owns the Colts. They're his. I know, but nobody can take them away.
But you only realize the big money when you sell.
You realize a rich life. He's got that.
He's got that.
He wants to someday stand there and hold the trophy. The Vince Lombardi trophy.
He's done that.
Okay, well, you'd like to do it again.
Yeah,
that's why these guys do that. I mean, so why would he need to sell?
It's not like an owner who's never won. He's won.
Okay, but what's
Mike, I don't know
what's he going to do? Let's say he lives to 85 years old. What things he going to have for 25 more years going to be more fun for him than this?
I don't know. Right? Maybe a motorized golf cart. I really don't know.
You know, he can get one of those for a lot less than $3.2 billion. We're going to end this block with an NBA story of sorts. In a podcast with teammate Josh Hart, Lonzo Ball blames his substandard shoes on part of his on-court woes. Lonzo says the shoes were so poorly constructed, he had to change them out after every quarter. And he said, quote, "It's crazy, right when I switched my shoes, all of a sudden, magically, I got good again," close quote. Tony, are you buying that the big baller shoes were the issue with Lonzo's game?
First of all, raise your hand if you ever thought the big baller shoes were going to be any good to begin with, which nobody ever thought. I think shoes are important to all athletes. I've talked to enough athletes in my life in all sports where if it's not right on your feet, that affects you mentally. And I understand that. But I'm going to look at
you physically.
I'm going to look at Lonzo Ball's career 2 years in the NBA. The number 2 overall draft pick. He's averaging 10 points a game, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. He's shooting 38% from the field, and far worse, 44% from the line, where your shoes have no effect whatsoever, and he won't even drive to the basket because he doesn't want to go to the line. I think he's a bust so far. I'll give him a little bit of slack where I'll say that your shoes can affect you mentally. But to say that this is all about your shoes, I don't buy that.
First of all, who chose the shoes?
He did.
Is he an indentured slave? Somebody make him wear the big baller shoes?
Well, he was helping his dad sell product.
Well, then blame it on your father. Look your old man square in the face. Remember, this is the reverse commercial that Spike Lee and Michael Jordan did. Is it the shoes? I guess it was the shoes. And it can affect you physically. You can't, if you don't want to drive to the basket, if you can't drive to the basket because you're wearing a bunch of garbage. Even Phil Knight's shoes had to be tested. Like, you know the stories that guys tell? Well, guys like Ahmad Rashad, who were essentially shoe testers for Phil Knight in the old days, they would come back and say, Phil, the shoe is in half. What was Big Baller going to do after a year?
How much do you give to the shoes in this? Because he's got a new chance with a new team.
Okay, I give a lot to the shoes, but it doesn't matter. He made the decision to wear the damn shoes.
Take a break. Coming up, we'll get back into the latest Antonio Brown developments with Tony Dungy.
We'll also ask him what he expects to see out of Aaron Rodgers and his new head coach.
Do you think he turns it around, Lonzo Ball in New Orleans? You think he becomes great?
A really good player.
Really? Because he's a
Pardon the interruption is brought to you by